Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about our first grade curriculum for this upcoming school year for Alana. And I'm excited to go over it with you. And if you're new to my channel, I created this channel as a homeschooling resource for you and for me, for us all to learn and grow together. So I will have different curriculum ideas like I'm doing today, or different organizational ideas for your homeschool area, or unboxings of curriculum we've liked. And so if you're interested in those things, please subscribe below and let's get into this curriculum. So in my students' top drawer, I've talked about the workbox system in a previous video. I'll try to link it up here. And that's how we organize our schoolwork throughout the day. So they can just go down each drawer, and when they're finished with one thing, they just move to the next drawer and they know exactly what they're supposed to do. So it greatly encourages independent learning. So in their top drawer, it's kind of a junk drawer, not exactly. It has a lot of pencils. It has a little divider tray that they can put all their pencils, all their erasers. It just usually collects a lot of junk. So we have to clean it out quite frequently. And then also in that top drawer is some lesson plans. I did not mention these in my second grade curriculum video because I wasn't done with them and I forgot about them, but here they are. So this is from Confessions of a Homeschooler. This is actually her second grade one, but I covered it with the first grade. So anyway, she has ones that you can buy from her that are already filled in with certain curriculum she really likes. So if you want to just buy that and print them, or she has ones you can edit yourself. So that's what I did. So I went through and filled in all the days. It's just in Word. I think you just take it into Word and then you can just write in what you want to use. So then when my kids are going through their schoolwork, they can highlight it or cross it off or whatever when they're done with it. So I just like this so we can all kind of keep on track with what's going on. So I'll put a link to this all in my blog. So if you have questions about anything, I'll try to remember it all and put it in my blog. If I forget something, just comment and I'll make sure to correct it. So this is the first thing that's in their drawer, just to keep us all on track. The next thing is a daily learning notebook, which is also from Confessions of a Homeschooler. And I sort of like this and I sort of don't. We do go over calendar and circle time stuff. So this just reinforces being able to fill out a calendar and understanding the months and things like that. And sometimes my kids just get sick of doing it every single day, but I feel like it's really good. So I think these ones are actually from the kindergarten one. She has a kindergarten one and an elementary one. And the kindergarten one has the days written in here, whereas the elementary one is just all blank and they write it in themselves. So I laminated these so we could just erase them and they could just reuse them every single week. But something that I do really like about this, let me flip to a page so you can see, I was struggling today, is that they can fill in their own calendar. So that's why I keep doing this, because they at least get to understand what a calendar is like and get more familiar with the months, and they can fill in the weather down here. And so again, I have mixed feelings about actually liking to do it and my kids liking to do it, but we keep doing it. So something else that this is the first time I've ever used this kind of curriculum, but this is the Word of Life daily devotional, 1 year daily devotional. And this is for 4 to 6 years old. So it looks a little different than for the elementary school ages, a little bit older. And so every day it just has something that they can do that gets them in the scriptures. And these focus on the Bible. So as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints, we study the Bible and the Book of Mormon. So this fall, we're going to be studying the second half of the New Testament. So I got these so that we could be a little bit more familiar with the scriptures. So there's that. And then to reinforce scriptures and being in the scriptures every day, we're doing a reason for handwriting. And this one has lessons for every single day. And it builds you up to write a scripture or just to write names of things in the scripture. So you have Jesus over here and Zion and Samuel. So it's giving them this handwriting practice, but also making them more familiar with the scriptures in the process. And so I'm really excited to have my kids do those. Reading our scriptures every day is very important to us. And so that's why those are in their drawers first thing. So we also do scripture study together as a group. And like I said, we're going to be studying the second half of the New Testament. So I have this New Testament manual. that just has simplified stories in here. So we'll go through this fall. And then also there's this book I really like. This is Bible-ites. There's also one for the Book of Mormon. And it's just gonna go over some people in the scriptures and talk about them and give a little summary of their life. And then on this side, it gives a little activity that you can do. And I've really liked this book. So this is the first year I've used them and I've really enjoyed them a lot. So that is the first drawer. I know it's a lot. So the second drawer has their math, and I use the Moffat Girls Math, and it's Math Made Fun, and so it's gonna be for first grade. So here's the first unit she's gonna be working on, and this is numbers to 120. And it also has a little booklet. So all these things I bought on Teachers Pay Teachers, which I'll link below, and you just download it. And you can print out what you want or what you don't. So this bin I just showed you has a whole bunch of centers in it. And if you don't want to use them all, you don't have to. Or if you just have one child you're using it for, you might not want to laminate them. You might just want to print out the ones you think would be the most useful. So it just kind of depends on your student. Whereas mine's going through 4 children, I laminated everything and did it nicely so that we could have it for all of them. But these, again, I just printed them out. Excuse me. And so for each unit, they'll get a new little booklet like this. And then inside it has work pages. So with the center, they can also do work pages. And something else that I really love about the Moffat Girls, Annie Moffat is amazing. Her stuff is all amazing. So this is my binder with all the lesson plans in it and the curriculum. She does these all for you. You don't have to do anything. And so when you pay for it, you get the lesson plans as well. And let me just show you a page right here if I can get to it. So it'll start out like this, and it just gives you a list of everything they're gonna be learning. And then it tells you what center to put in, what activity pages, what practice pages, which are all in that booklet. And it's all right here for you. Super, super easy. I love people when they do lesson plans. It's like my favorite thing because I don't have to do a lot of work. So that's what we're doing for math this year. Sorry, I'm like, have too much stuff around me. Where am I supposed to put it all? So for reading, we did do with my daughter last year, the second half of the year we got into all about reading, and we almost finished level 1. She really struggles. So last year my son, who's in 2nd grade, discovered Pokemon, and he had known him a little bit before this, but he discovered a book about Pokemon. So once he discovered this book and he was already reading a little bit, his reading just took off because he just found something he loved to read. She has not found her Pokemon yet, and I have no idea when that will happen. So reading is a big struggle with her, and trying to get through the stories and all about reading, it takes so long. It takes days and days just to make it through a couple pages, and it's really rough. So we're gonna try something different and kind of go back to very basic things and just sight words with her. So again, the Moffat Girls just came out with another reading curriculum, and we're gonna try it out. And so it might seem extremely simple for a 1st grader for some of you, but for her and where she's at, this is what we're gonna try. And Annie Moffat only has level A out, and I don't know exactly when the next levels will be out, but she's working on them. So this is the first story. I pulled one out so you could kind of see what it is, because it's all, I have 2 binders. They're like this. They're pretty big and really fat. So I pulled it out so you could see one of them. So this is the first book, and again, it's a very simple read, and it has some sight words in here and some sentences they can work on. And something else that I really liked about this curriculum that kind of encouraged me to get it for my daughter was it has a mixture of writing and reading. So my son hates to write, my daughter loves to write, and she loves to draw pictures, and so I feel like this caters more to what she likes to do. So just a few, there's a ton of pages here, and they're for 3 different levels. Within level A, she creates 3 different levels, so depending where your student is, if they can write more, or they can't write a whole bunch yet, or they're still struggling with certain things, she gives you a variety of worksheets so that you can meet their needs. So this one's just for beginning sounds that you can do. So So the first story is the zoo. So this one's all about, has animals on it. This also, there's stuff for in each of the books for grammar. So this one's adding periods. So they'll learn about that. I think there's one for capitalization as well. And then this is classifying information. So walks on four legs, doesn't walk on four legs. So there's this, there's some other things where they can write a little bit of a story. If they're that advanced, they can draw a picture for it, or they can just write a sentence. So there's a variety of things, and I feel like my daughter will just learn better this way. And so I don't know if the next level will be out by the time we're done with this one, and if not, we'll figure out what to do then. But this is what we're gonna try to do now and see if it helps her a little bit more. So in the next drawer, we have our phonics and our vocab and stuff. So I'm gonna show you, we used this last year for my son and I really liked it. It's super easy. These are from Abeka. So this is language 1, and inside of it, you just have a whole bunch of simple lessons. So this one is doing the 7 days of the week. And Abeka is Christian based, so it also has, so this is Jesus's birthday and talks about Joseph and Mary and Bethlehem and things like that. And so that's something that I like about Abeka, that can also get a little bit more scripture stuff in the curriculum here. It's not super laden with scripture stuff, but it does have it interwoven throughout. So this one is language 1, and then there's also one for letters and sounds. So she'll be doing a little bit in both throughout the week. And again, this one opened up. It just has you mark like special sounds and words, has you circle, ing, things like that, just getting you a little bit more familiar with words. So that's what we're gonna be doing for her phonics stuff. And handwriting, we just started midway through the year last year because I wasn't able to keep really good track of how my kids' handwriting was going. I felt like I didn't know for sure what letters they were really struggling with. And so I bought these. These are also from Abeka. They're writing with phonics. They have, so this is manuscript, and some of the older versions, they also have cursive. So if you want to get them for your kids to practice cursive, you can do that. So then I just give them 1 page a day, and it has some sentences they can write. This one started out with going through the ABCs and then practicing writing the ABCs and things like that. But since we started halfway through the year, she's a little further along. So she'll be writing a little bit more sentences and words and not just letter formation of each individual letter. So that's what we're doing with that. And then we're going to do vocabulary workshop. I haven't ever used these before. I know Confessions of a Homeschooler also has a mixed feeling about them. She just doesn't really like to do vocab, and I'm with her. Vocab is not always my favorite thing either. So we're gonna be going through this, and this is level red. So I think this is the very first one, and it just has some simple things. So this one has the words on this side, and then you can match them with the picture that goes with the word. So just getting them a little bit more familiar with different words and how they sound, what they look like. And they also have stuff where you can listen to these things. So if there's stories in them, you can give them a little tablet or whatever, and they could listen to it, so you don't have to read everything to them. I don't know completely about that because we haven't gotten there yet. I'm working on it, but I am excited to try this, and I'll let you know if I really enjoy it or not. So that's all for that drawer. And then the very bottom drawer has our spelling. And so we have spelling UC, and this is level A. She's almost done with this one. So then we're gonna move on to level B, which is Jack and Jill, I think. So this one, I forgot to pull out a worksheet for you guys to see. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I just had to grab this worksheet so that I can show you guys. So this is the teacher's book, and then it comes with a manual. I don't have any of the manuals because I tear them all out and make copies of them. That's cheaper for me than buying a new book for each of my kids every year. So this is what the page looks like. So in A, you're just saying words to them and they're writing them, and they might need a lot of help, they might not. And some of them focus on the same sounds, and then they'll review a mixture of sounds. So it gives you the lists all right here in the back. So if you can see that. But so this is 31E. So then you'd look for 31E, which isn't on this page. And you just read the words to them and they could write them down. If they're really slow, you wouldn't spend more than like 10 minutes doing this. So if they're really struggling, you just go through what words they could instead of trying to get through the whole list. So we're almost done with this one, with A. And then we're gonna go to B, which is the Jack and Jill one, which focuses a little bit more on writing nursery rhymes. So they'll practice writing the nursery rhymes every day of the week, and then at the end of the week, you'll dictate it to them, and they'll write it for 10 minutes as best they can. And I talked a little bit more about that one in the second grade curriculum. So I can try to remember to link that up, or you can go check it out on my channel. So that's what we're doing for spelling. It's not your typical, like, here's a list of 10 spelling words and then write them down. This one's getting them familiar with words in context, and some of the words are above where they would normally be in the grade level that they're at. But through just repetition throughout the week, they learn how to write them. So I think it's really cool. So a few other things. So also in the bottom drawer is the road trip, the USA. This is something we do together as a group, but they have individual booklets. So this goes in the bottom drawer. And this is from Confessions of a Homeschooler. And she has it all planned out. Again, for you, lesson plans are so amazing. I love them. Let me just get the book. So this is the teacher's manual. And then this is the student one. So if you didn't want to print out this teacher's manual, you wouldn't have to. You could just look at it on your computer. So then in here, we're gonna be moving on to the Southeast. We talked about a lot of the New England states and down to Pennsylvania last year. And we started this about halfway through the year. So this is meant to be about a 2-year curriculum because she'll go over the states. So she usually has 2 lessons per state. So I think right here we can see. So there's one for Alabama here and then one for Alabama here. And then she'll do one more state from the South. And then she'll do a review of those states. So that's 5 lessons to just go over 2 states. And then you'll go through the whole unit of like the Southeast. Let me think here, Southeast. And she'll have another big review for that. And then you can move on to the Midwest and the South and things like that. So it's a really comprehensive curriculum. It has tons of fun activities for you to do, tons of books she recommends that might be great to just incorporate more history if you want. So like for colonial times, she has lots of books that you could, when you're doing New England or the original 13 colonies, you could read those books. So it's great for history and geography, and I've really liked it. So I'll link that information below for this stuff too. You just buy it from her website and then you can download it. And then for the other couple things that we're doing together as a group, we're gonna do art out of this book. This is recommended by Confessions of a Homeschooler, and this is something I haven't done before. So we're gonna try it out. We're also doing nature schooling 1 day a week, like in the afternoon. And so I think this will probably be incorporated a little bit with that, what we're doing out in nature. They can use what they've learned in art and incorporate it into their little nature journals. And I'm sure I'll have a post about that eventually, but I am not ready to do that right now. And then for science, we're doing biology for the grammar stage. This is from Elemental Science. So I used her intro to science, which I think is about a kindergarten-ish level. It goes through several of the sciences and just does a few little lessons on each of them. So you can just experience what all the sciences are like. But this year we're gonna specifically focus on biology. So in here she lists books that are pretty necessary for the curriculum. Most of them are encyclopedias, and just a few of them. It's not like you're buying a whole library. And then she gives you tons and tons of lists of other books for each unit that could be helpful. So if you're talking about a cheetah, she'll list all the different things you could go buy about cheetahs, and or rent them, check them out from the library, whatever it's called. And you can just get them and have them supplemental, or you don't have to. It just kind of depends how much time you want to spend on it. So she also gives really good lesson plans in here. And at the end of each lesson, she has a schedule. So you can either do it for 2 days or 5 days, or you can create your own. I don't know why you'd want to do that when she's made it so nice for you right here. So for 2 days, if you want to do it 2 days a week, she lists all the things you can do, which she's already mentioned in her lesson plan. Or 5 days a week, she splits it up and says, okay, these are the best things to do together. So I really, really like this curriculum. I'm excited to try out the biology one and see how it goes as we work together and figure it out. And then I think the last thing is this coloring book. This is Shimmer and Shine. It does not have to be Shimmer and Shine. This is just also in my daughter's bottom drawer as just something extra if she finishes her work early and needs something to do. So again, like I said, it doesn't have to be a coloring book. It can just be any little activity that your child likes to do that keeps them occupied so they're not interrupting everybody else. Or maybe a game they could go in a different room and play. So whatever works for you. So I think that's all for our first grade curriculum. And if you have any questions, please let me know, or other first grade curriculum that you really like to use. Please comment below, because I love learning about new curriculum and I have a problem with buying lots of it that I don't need. So maybe you shouldn't tell me. Anyways, we will see you next time. Have a good week.